Most people spend decades planning how to retire, but almost no one plans how to live once retirement begins. They count the years, they watch the calendar, they focus on the money. And yet, when retirement finally arrives, many people quietly admit the same thing. I wasn't ready for this. Not because they didn't save enough, but because no one told them what really matters before you retire. Retirement doesn't suddenly give you clarity. It removes distractions, and whatever is left becomes impossible to ignore. I've read countless stories from people already living in retirement, people who worked hard, who followed the rules, who did what they were supposed to do, and still found themselves feeling lost, restless, or deeply unsatisfied. That's why this video exists, not to scare you, not to pressure you, but to share what people only talk about after it's too late. If you're anywhere near retirement, or even thinking about it years from now, there are certain things you must do before you stop working. Because retirement does not create a new life, it exposes the one you already built. The first thing you must do before you retire is detach your identity from your job. This is one of the hardest transitions for most people, and also one of the most underestimated. For decades, your job gives your days meaning, structure, recognition. People ask what you do. They respect your role. They rely on your experience. Without realizing it, your work becomes the answer to a much deeper question: who am I? Many retirees say the shock wasn't losing income, it was losing relevance. One man shared how after 40 years in the same profession, he suddenly felt invisible. No meetings, no one asking for his opinion, no one depending on his expertise. He didn't miss the stress, he missed being needed. Before you retire, you must understand something clearly. Your job is something you do, not who you are. If your identity lives entirely inside your work, retirement will feel like erasure. This doesn't mean work was meaningless. It means it cannot be the only thing that defines you. Before retirement, you need to build parts of your identity that exist without a job title. Relationships, interests, values, personal routines. Not things you promise yourself you'll start someday, but things already present in your life. Because retirement doesn't magically give you purpose, it reveals whether you already had one. Many people believe they'll discover themselves once they stop working, but self-discovery doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens through engagement, through curiosity, through connection. If work is the only place you feel useful, retirement will feel empty. But if you've already invested in who you are beyond your job, retirement becomes a continuation, not a collapse. The second thing you must do before you retire is learn how to structure your own time. This may sound simple, but it's where many retirees struggle the most. Work gives your life a built-in rhythm. Wake up, commute, deadlines, schedules. When that structure disappears, freedom feels exciting at first, then confusing, then heavy. Many retirees describe waking up with no urgency, no plan, no reason to move. Days blur, sleep schedules shift, motivation fades. Not because they're lazy, but because time without structure feels endless. One woman shared that she thought retirement would feel relaxing. Instead, she felt disoriented. She didn't know what day it was or why time felt both slow and empty. Before retirement, you must practice structuring your days without external pressure. Create simple routines, morning habits, weekly anchors, not strict schedules, but gentle structure. People who enjoy retirement the most don't wait for motivation, they create rhythm. A morning walk, a regular coffee time, a weekly activity. Structure doesn't limit freedom, it protects it. Without structure, time controls you. With structure, you control time. Many retirees say they wish they had practiced this earlier, while they were still working, when stakes were lower. Because once retirement arrives, there's no system to fall back on. You become fully responsible for how your days unfold, and that can feel overwhelming if you've never done it before. Retirement isn't about doing nothing, it's about choosing how to live. But choice without structure often becomes paralysis. Before you retire, build a life that moves even when no one is watching. Because retirement removes deadlines, but it doesn't remove the need for direction. And this is only the beginning. The third thing you must do before you retire is take care of your health while you still can. It sounds obvious, but so many people ignore it, assuming they'll have time to focus on their body later. Decades of habits, routines, or the lack of them catch up quickly once work ends. Many retirees tell the same story. I thought I'd finally have time to exercise once I retired. I thought I could start eating better. I thought it wouldn't matter. And then it did. They noticed stiffness that didn't exist before, energy that wasn't there, small aches that turned into real pain. One woman shared that she postponed regular checkups for years, thinking she'd do them after retiring. When the time came, she was facing health issues she could have prevented. Another man ignored minor warning signs, believing he had plenty of time. By the time retirement arrived, small problems had become major limitations. Before retirement, health is your most powerful form of preparation. Not exercise for vanity, not dieting for trends, but consistent habits that protect your mobility, energy, and clarity. Walking, stretching, strength training, eating, sleeping, managing stress. Even small daily practices compound over years. Your body doesn't wait until retirement to remind you it needs care. If you ignore it now, you'll pay later. Mental health is just as crucial. Many retirees describe anxiety, confusion, or low motivation after leaving work. Often it's linked to lifestyle changes, social isolation, or a sudden loss of routine. Develop coping mechanisms now. Learn to manage stress without relying on a job structure. Practice mindfulness, journaling, or meditation. Talk to someone when you feel off. Build resilience before the transition. Because once retirement begins, you can't outsource your health anymore. The fourth thing you must do before you retire is clarify your finances beyond just having enough. Retirement isn't just about how much money you have. It's about understanding how that money works for you. Many people feel confident about savings, then retire and realize they don't know what they're spending, what will change, or what unexpected costs might come. One couple shared that they thought they were financially ready until medical expenses, home maintenance, and lifestyle changes added up. Suddenly, their comfort and security felt fragile. Before retirement, you need more than a number on a bank statement. Know exactly how much you spend each month, which expenses are fixed and which are flexible, what taxes, insurance, and fees might change after retirement, how your income will be distributed over the years. Understanding this reduces stress, gives you clarity, and allows confident decisions. It's not about restriction or deprivation, it's about control. Automatic payments, budgeting systems, regular reviews of accounts. Even small steps today make retirement smoother tomorrow. Many retirees describe the relief of clarity, even when the numbers weren't perfect. Uncertainty about money is far more stressful than scarcity itself. The fifth thing you must do before you retire is invest in your relationships. Work naturally provides social interaction. Without it, many retirees find themselves isolated. Friends drift away, colleagues stop calling, neighbors remain distant. Loneliness creeps in, often quietly before you notice. One retiree shared that he never realized how much his identity was tied to daily interactions with coworkers. When they stopped, his social life felt empty. Another shared that she hadn't nurtured friendships outside work and found herself spending days alone. Her relationships weren't broken, but they hadn't been maintained. Before retirement, strengthen connections with family, friends, and community. This isn't about increasing social pressure, it's about creating a network of meaningful connections that survive beyond work. Regular calls, shared activities, volunteering, learning new skills with others. Relationships require intentionality. You cannot wait until retirement to start building them. Many retirees report the same lesson. The people you invest in today are the ones who support you tomorrow. Relationships also give purpose, connection, joy. And in retirement, those things matter more than money, titles, or achievements. Think of it this way. Your social life is a foundation. If it's weak, retirement feels unstable. If it's strong, retirement feels like freedom. And this is only the beginning.
The sixth thing you must do before you retire is rediscover your sense of purpose. Many people assume that purpose will automatically come with retirement, that suddenly, because they're free from work, they'll feel meaningful. But purpose doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's not granted by a pension check or by an empty calendar. It must already exist in some form before you step away from your career. Many retirees share that the hardest adjustment wasn't financial, it was emotional, it was existential. "I felt like I was just passing time," one retiree said. "I had no idea what to do with myself anymore. My days stretched endlessly and I didn't feel useful." Purpose after retirement often looks different than purpose during work. It's quieter, it's subtler, it's less about recognition and more about contribution. Before retirement, ask yourself, what matters to me outside of work? Where do I feel useful? Who benefits from my time, attention, or knowledge? Purpose can be found in many forms: volunteering in your community, mentoring younger people, learning a skill you never had time for, creative pursuits, supporting family or friends. One retiree shared how becoming a mentor to teenagers in his neighborhood transformed his life. He had more energy, more satisfaction, and more reason to get out of bed than he ever did at his old job. Another described learning a new language and joining a local cultural group. She didn't just fill her time, she felt alive. The key is to start cultivating purpose now, before retirement arrives. Because when the job no longer structures your life, purpose becomes your anchor. Without it, days feel heavy, motivation fades, loneliness deepens. With it, retirement feels like freedom, but also like engagement, like life continues, only in a different, richer way. The seventh thing you must do before you retire is learn to ask for help. This may be the most overlooked preparation of all. Many people believe independence is the same as doing everything alone. They think asking for help is a weakness or a failure. But retirees often discover the exact opposite. The people who enjoy retirement most are the ones who have built support networks, who know how to ask for help when needed, and who understand that asking doesn't diminish independence. One woman shared how she initially resisted help from her children. She didn't want to feel like a burden, but she realized that accepting help allowed her to live more fully, not less. Another man shared that hiring a part-time assistant for home maintenance allowed him to focus on his hobbies and health instead of exhausting chores. He felt more free and independent, not less. Before retirement, identify areas where support will matter: physical tasks, financial oversight, social connection. Practice asking for help now, even in small ways, because once work ends, you cannot rely on your job to provide structure, community, or external guidance.
Independence in retirement isn't doing everything alone. It's having the wisdom to know when collaboration, support, or guidance enhances your life. Many retirees say that learning this lesson early would have saved years of stress and isolation. Combine purpose with support, and retirement stops being something you endure. It becomes something you live. Start now by reflecting, where do I need support? Who can I trust? What tasks or responsibilities could I share or delegate? Small steps before retirement make a huge difference afterward. Purpose and support are like two sides of the same coin. Purpose gives your life direction. Support keeps you moving toward it. Miss one, retirement feels incomplete. Miss both, it can feel overwhelming. Get both right before you retire, and the transition is smoother, richer, and more fulfilling than you ever imagined. All 7 of these steps work together. They're interconnected. Identity without purpose feels hollow. Purpose without support feels fragile. Health without structure feels wasted. Finances without clarity feel risky. Relationships without care feel distant. Structure without identity feels rigid. The power comes from doing all of them before retirement begins. Remember, these 7 steps are simple, but not easy. They require honesty, courage, and consistency. They ask you to face your habits, your identity, and your relationships with clarity. They ask you to prioritize what truly matters. But the reward is immeasurable, a retirement that feels alive, purposeful, and free. You don't have to wait for retirement to start living well. You can begin today. Take action, build habits, strengthen connections, care for your health, manage your finances, rediscover purpose, ask for support when needed. By doing this now, you will enter retirement not with fear, uncertainty, or regret, but with confidence, control, and a sense of anticipation for the life ahead. Your life after work can be fulfilling, adventurous, and deeply satisfying, but only if you prepare for it with the same intentionality you devoted to your career. So start today. Take these 7 steps seriously. Reflect on them, implement them, make them part of your daily life. And when the day comes to retire, you'll do so not because you had no choice, but because you were ready. Because retirement is not just about leaving work, it's about entering life fully. And that is the life you deserve. If you found this video helpful, take a moment to think about which of these steps you'll begin today. Share your thoughts, your reflections, and even your plans in the comments. And if you want more guidance on preparing for life after work, make sure to subscribe. This is your time to take control, live intentionally, and create the retirement you've always imagined. Thank you for watching.